Hey everybody, what's up? If you're listening to this, you're probably not, because I haven't posted anything on this podcast in well over 6 months, and that's how engagement works. But if you're picking this back up, this is the last episode in the regular interview format. I've been doing a lot of tooling, a lot of thinking with this podcast. Do I want to do it? If I did want to do it, what do I want to do? And I want to do something different. I want to meet people where they are. I don't want people to come to me, to a studio, or to my literal living room. But even if I got a studio, like, I wouldn't want them to come there. No shade to that. That would be cool. I'm just not at that level. And I don't really want that. I want to meet people where they are. So this is the last in-person interview. Well, I guess technically they'll all be in-person interviews. This is the last in-studio interview with a guest that I'll do. I'm going to do solo episodes of just me in the house or maybe out on walks, but all of the episodes moving forward are going to be activity-based. I'll be on hikes with people. I'll be cooking with friends. I'll be playing sports, which, like, maybe sounds like it won't lead itself to a fun audio medium, but I'm also incorporating more video. I'm getting a 360 camera. We're going to have some fun with it because I want to have fun. And I'm in Los Angeles, and I've made a ton of cool friends and met a lot of cool people, and I want you to meet those people. And I'd rather do that than just, like, sit on my couch that also doubles as my guest bed and talk to people. But with that being said, this last interview was filmed in, like, I want to say August or September of 2025, which is a long time ago. I didn't air it because I wasn't happy with it, not because of the guest. I wasn't happy with, like, my preparation and my demeanor as a host. And in my head, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to 110% of its ability, and I didn't feel like I met that ability. So it's with my friend Erin Cholakian. She has since blown up. You've probably seen her reels, you probably follow her, you've probably seen her stuff on Threads, or you've booked her, or you've worked with her. She's amazing. She's a firecracker. I love her so much. She's one of my best friends here in LA now. If you're following me from her Heated Rivalry show, that's awesome. I love that. It's still a fun interview. Erin's great. I feel like I could have been better, so I apologize for that. If you're listening to this, great. If you're watching it, awesome. There is a unedited version, and we're still going to do the unedited versions for people on my Patreon and on my broadcast channel on Instagram. But for right now, this is the episode with Erin Cholakian. The unedited one runs a little over an hour. It's super fun, but this is the last one that's going to be in, like, a sit-down setting. Again, I'll have solo episodes that are going to run like 30 to 45 minutes of me just blabbering and covering topics. But when I have guests on, we're going to be doing fun things. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump into this episode.
He's like, you guys took a break? Okay, you can stay if you... He's like, let me immediately start talking. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and jump into it with that.
Yeah.
So I'll do it. Okay. Guys, girls, non-binaries, whatever you identify as, I'm so glad that you identify as someone listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 2 of No Gods, No Chains. I'm your host, Spencer Bland, and I'm here with one of my favorite new people that I've met in LA, comedian, professional axe thrower. You have a million other things. Facebook Marketplace guru, Erin Cholakian.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, Erin, do you want to tell the fine folks who you are? Give them a little spiel.
Yeah, my name is Erin Cholakian. I'm half Irish, half Armenian, just like my name.
Irish.
Yeah.
Oh.
So my name Erin is means Ireland in Gaelic. It's like the whole place.
Yeah.
And then Cholakian is just a very Armenian last
I
name.
seen, but I have a lot of IRA postcards around here. I'm also Irish. Yeah,
I know. Look at us. It's
Yeah.
all coming together. Is your last name technically Irish, but they dropped the O, or is that something else?
No, Bland.
You know how they do that?
My grandma did a whole. My middle name's McRae.
Oh,
and
okay.
My sister's middle name's O'Brien, which is where our
yeah.
lineages come from. Bland was, I think we adapted it like after the Civil War.
Gotcha.
Because at some point, like, our last name was like Orespis or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because my grandma, when my granddad passed away years ago, she was like, I want to find out who we are. So
they always do that right before they go. That was my grandma, Jeannie O'Grady, right before she went, was like, every single day she was on Ancestor.com. That was
half
all she was
Armenian,
doing.
half Irish is fun.
It's a crazy,
Man,
crazy mixture.
what a combination of oppressed peoples.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is it's so funny because it's two genocides that the general public does not talk about. They're like, I'm not so sure those people suffered that bad. Let's just ignore it.
You know what? Only the cool people will acknowledge it.
Exactly. No, literally. And that's where I find my friends. You know, I'm like, oh, did you just say the Armenian genocide did happen and that the potato famine is not a potato famine at all, and that it's a yeah.
Exactly.
So that's where I find my friends, and that's
Hell
how
yeah.
I found you. That's what we talked about the first time.
Did we meet on TikTok?
We met on TikTok.
Hell yeah.
You're okay.
Love it.
So I am nice, and your video came on my For You page of you
Crying with my mom.
And listen, if like all of my friends know that I have a weakness for tears, and it was a video of you just standing in like your kitchen, I think, and you were like, I have packed everything and I'm leaving for Los Angeles and I'm a comedian, but the thing that I'm going to miss the most is my mom. And I was like, like it killed me. And so I messaged you and I was like, hey, I'm an LA comedian. I can do whatever I can for you, but I'm new to the scene. So I'll do what I can, but you know
what I can do? I can offer you friendship, which honestly
and
has
that's
been great
what
out
happened.
Here.
So
who was I just talking to about friendship out here? I think it was my boy Nick at Netflix. Just
a casual drop.
Just a casual drop.
My boy Nick at Netflix.
Oh no, I say that because I hope that he is listening. But he was like you'll find your crew out here and you'll just kind of like eventually. Oh, and he's bringing us toys and we love that.
Goodness.
Yeah.
The executive dog is on the scene
right here. And you've become part of my crew out in LA. Yeah, which is love that.
Woohoo. Crew.
High five. Okay, Erin, I like to do it up top. Obviously, you can plug your stuff at the end too, but I found analytically most people are not paying attention at the end. So
never have, never will.
Anything you want to talk about, any political statements you want to make, Steve, I love you, but for audio, we cannot have you squishing toys.
The way he literally paused.
He was like, "Yes, Father."
He was like, "Yes, Father."
Yeah.
Sorry, Father, I shall not sin. So my name is Erin Cholakian. You can find me on all socials at Erin, ERIN_Cholakian, CHOLAKIAN. The reason that is because I'm the only Erin Cholakian in the world.
What, really?
Yeah. I could have gotten
That's
Erin
fun.
Cholakian without the underscore, but I liked the space because you could really see that it was my full name. But I'm the only Erin Cholakian in the whole world.
What's your middle name?
May, M-A-E.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, Erin May Cholakian.
That's very Irish.
It's a cute name, yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, so
AMC.
Or
no, EMC. Dang, that's right.
yeah.
So close.
AOC?
It was AOC.
First of all, did you think my name was spelt with an A?
No, I thought, well, Aaron. No, honestly, I said
Were
May.
you doing A-A-R-O-N?
Well, May Cholakian, and then I was like MC, and then my brain went AMC A-list. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because my mom, ever since the sketch from Key and Peele dropped of the Aaron, O'Shag Hennessy, like that has been, my mom spelt my name, named me the second I came out her womb, and has called me Aaron ever since that sketch came out. So I was
hilarious.
like, damn it, it's even here. But if I were to plug anything, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told you this.
Ooh.
So I filmed my first half-hour special.
Wait, I knew that because that's like right when we became friends.
That was right when we became
and you were doing it
friends.
that week. Because I remember I saw that and I was like, good for her.
Yeah.
I didn't know you well enough to be like, get it.
You got it. Yeah, no, the problem is that it didn't work out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I have to refilm it.
Like technical difficulties, or you
Technical
didn't?
difficulties.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did it twice, and the first night was just okay, and I
Yeah.
knew that I was depending on the second night to like really rock it.
Yeah.
The second night I really rocked it, Spencer. I was so proud of myself. The audio, like when I listened to it back on my phone, I'm obsessed. I'm like, this was a perfect show. And then somehow the master got filmed in slow motion, and it's. So
do you at least have it?
Yeah, I think
that
I
could
have
be
to get
really
it from the
funny
guy, and I have
post
to
later. Yeah.
So when I re-record and like figure it all out, I am gonna. Hey, sir.
Why don't you get on out of here?
Hey, why don't you get on out of here?
Can you go lay down? Go lay down, buddy. I love you so much. Go get on your bed.
Go.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the park later. Go get on your bed. Go get on your bed.
I love you.
Go.
I love you. Bye.
You can also lay down right there. It's fine.
The turnaround and look at the door. But so when I do a marketing campaign because I'm gonna do an hour instead, because why not?
Great.
But when I do the marketing campaign, I'm going to like explain what happened and then show one of the moments in slow motion and be like, I have to refilm.
But also, like, you've gained like a significant amount of followers since I feel like you did that half hour.
Yeah,
so now you have more chances for new people to come see you. All that stuff. Are you going to do it at this? No, that place doesn't exist anymore.
So it technically exists. They've changed hands.
Oh, great. Okay.
But I want to do a bigger, I just want to do it bigger. I want the whole thing to
do you have that planned yet? Or?
No, I want to hopefully do it by the end of the year or early next year.
Great.
So
Love it.
I've decided. I obviously was mourning that situation, like it was very heartbreaking and hard, and But I always try to take everything. What I do, I don't know if you do this, but when something like that happens and it's like really upsetting and whatever, I give myself 2 days. I'm like, I get 2 days to be upset about this in any way possible. I can cry, I can scream, I can do whatever I want, and then I have to hit the ground running. And I still weigh, like, after the 2 days, if I feel like I need one more, if I still feel it in my body, I don't force myself to rush it. I just don't let myself sit in it, because I'm the kind of person where if I don't give my, if I like, I will wallow, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I will wallow.
Dude,
so
I wallowed.
I have to give myself like a time limit.
I bombed my only real like industry showcase that I've done so far.
You told me about that.
Even my friend who's with me at the time, he was like, dude, don't worry, there's 1,000 managers in this city.
Yeah.
Clearly you're good enough to like get on these shows, you'll get in another one. And I still beat myself up over it all the time.
Well, you never forget things like that. And that's the thing. I'm never going to forget that this happened. It's still heartbreaking and whatever, but at the exact same time, I'm a big believer of everything happens for a reason.
Totally.
And so there was something that it was not the right time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The next time's going to be better. The next time's going to be, you know.
I fully believe in that too. Yeah, that's good.
So I would plug that.
Yeah.
I'll plug this. Watch out for when I start posting about when I'm going to refilm.
There you go.
And then that way you can be there live instead of waiting for it to drop.
We could plug your show that I'm doing.
Oh, yes, please do.
Hold on. September 17th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, is that when it is?
9/17.
At West, I know there's it's one of these modular.
The modular?
Yeah.
I love a modular couch.
It's also my guest bed.
Oh, perfect. It like does a little shift-a-roo.
Yeah, and turn into a little bed. It's actually quite comfortable.
I love that. I mean, I'm having a great time on it. So.
I love it. This used to be my OG couch out there, and then I got the couch, the pink one.
That couch is great.
It's great. It's perfect.
That's a great couch.
It's a really good nap couch.
Yeah.
But it's 917 at West Side Comedy Club, Insult to Injury. And we were talking about this earlier, so I have to tell an embarrassing story.
Yes.
Or just any story. I might. I've been working on this for a while. I haven't done it out here yet because I don't have enough. I feel like I don't have enough pull to make it good enough. But I might tell the story about just the general story of my father's death.
I knew you were going to say that, and I really want you to.
Because it's funny.
The worst story that you guys tell in terms of like socially uncomfortable, the funnier it is for the musical comedian to roast you.
And there's a lot of roast moments like. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not gonna tell the story now, but I'll tell you later. But there's a lot of like
highs and lows
moments.
And,
obviously my dad died, but it's like it's funny.
Yes. Well, that's speaking of my 30-minute special, which will be an hour special, is all about how I broke my ankle on a first date on a skateboard.
That's right. Yeah.
And we're currently sitting below skateboard bodies.
Yeah.
So
Steve-O.
pretty rude.
We have Bam Margera. We have my old Jackass board. And we have a Wild Boys board that's signed by Steve-O and Chris Pontius that used to be behind me on my wall, like when I had a regular corporate job, and didn't realize that Steve-O's autograph is a penis. So,
but I can't even tell that.
But I was in a meeting one time, and the guy went, "Is that a penis?" And I went,
"It totally is." You know what it also kind of looks like?
It's the dribble right there.
It looks like a person bowing down, and their head is the head of a penis.
It does kind of look that way too. Yeah. Regardless,
you were for a really long time having Zoom meetings in front of something that had a penis
that was
on it.
A phallic symbol. Yeah. That's cool. But what was I gonna say?
So Insult to Injury, the beauty of the show is comedians tell stories, and then a musical comedian roasts them through song directly after. So
and that's something that gives me anxiety. Not being roasted. That someone can not only roast me, but do it musically and immediately after I tell something. That's
so much fun to watch.
I don't have that kind of brain.
It's so cool to watch them because they're sitting there listening to you, but they're like in their notebook or in their phone, and they're just like head down doing their work, right? And then like the comedian will be like, "And that's my set," and then they just pick their guitar up or sit at the piano. And it's so much fun. Dude, I love that show so much.
Was Harper one of the roasters at one point?
So she's going to be one of our roasters for your show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I love
so
her.
if you want her to roast you, I can make.
We don't know each other
happen.
that well. We did High Note together, but she was. I'm so new to LA, and we were talking about earlier. Anyone who's nice to me, I'm like, yay! And she was really nice to me afterwards. And so I'm just like, you're a good person.
Yeah. No, So what we're gonna start doing, and this is like a new thing, is that we're gonna close out the show every night with just a regular song that's funny.
Fun.
Like it's not a roast, but it's a funny song.
Yeah.
And her and a guy Eddie and Greg, who's another co-producer, the three of them just did that last night.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then we were like, this actually is the perfect closer because it's musical and it's fun and it just like sets everybody on a high and then they leave.
Also,
and so we're going to keep doing that every show. So every show will end with some kind of song, and Harper will probably be there almost every show now. So.
Oh, that's rad. I love her.
Yeah.
I don't really know
I just
her
met her and we had a great time.
She's good vibes.
I am obsessed with good people that are just good. Like I just love to vibe with people, and I just want to be able to be in the space where we all have mutual respect for each other and we all just like show up and show out and have a good time.
And that's I mean, it's like that's a very healthy way to say like just want to have a good hang.
Well, I think I gotta say, like a lot of people ask how. Okay, so background on me. I've only been doing comedy for a year
brand
and
new.
some.
Which is crazy.
Literally just a year and like
so
3
good
months. Well, thank you so much. I think what plays into it is I have 2 degrees in theater. So like being on stage.
2? I didn't think you had 2. Damn.
I have an associate's and a bachelor's. And so being on stage in front of people is not hard for me. I think and I was always like the comedic character role. So like that kind of heightened experience is not hard for me, but the writing is its own medium, and my writing is different than I'm very story heavy, right? That was another reason that I feel like we got along really well in the beginning. Is part of your video is you were saying something like my comedy isn't for everybody, so like but that's the same with me, right? So I saw that in the video and I was like, I can relate to this, that some people don't like my comedy because I'm not a set up punchline tag. I'm not a one-liner.
You've got to like me at the beginning. I do the work up top to hopefully make you like me.
But then you have to like be in it with me for the experience.
Yeah, but I think that makes it a better long-term buy if I'm referring to myself as like a stock, because it's like,
no, that's exactly what we are.
We're
stock.
If you like this person, you or me or whoever, and then you're like, oh, I get to know them. I'm a very open person in general.
Yeah.
You come to the shows, you hear more stories.
You want to come back.
I've literally like, because as I'm sure you do this, but like I'm going through and just like writing down like all my jokes. Like I did an album
indexing all of it
3 years ago. I'm indexing. Oh, what do I tell anymore? What do I not tell? What's different? And I'm like, oh, these like very rarely do I just have jokes. Like they're all a fucking story.
Same.
That yes, I inject some humor or I take a little bit of poetic justice with. But the cool thing about
the story is what's funny.
Yeah.
And then you get to embellish on it, which then adds to the humor.
There's some where I will straight up like while people are laughing, I'm like, this is true. Like I've changed nothing.
We're
like,
almost the exact same comedian in that way.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my most viewed TikTok reels was actually an improvised sketch or like moment, is that I pulled a strip out of a jar and it said the weirdest place you've ever performed.
Oh,
and I answered Pearl Harbor, which is true. And I literally went, I go, ha, ha, Pearl Harbor, that's real. And I yelled, that's real. And that everybody just loves that. They love that
comedy in Pearl Harbor?
No, I was in show choir in high school and I was on the way to Hawaii for a competition.
Yeah.
And then on the way to Hawaii, our competition got canceled. And so they had to find something for us to do. And so we sang the national anthem at Pearl Harbor.
Cool.
It was cool, but it was just so
bizarre,
strange. Yeah, especially too because we're like, imagine the cast of Glee singing at Pearl Harbor. Like just for 2 seconds, think of Kurt Hummel sing, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so that's one of my most viewed things. And it's literally me just telling a story from the dome and saying over and over, this is just exactly how it happened.
Cool. Right.
But that's the thing is like, I'm slice of life. I just love the human experience. I think it's so much fun to share in other people's lives and like what we've all experienced. I think it's the closest we can get to observational comedy without being observational comedy. Because it's that I'm not observing it, I'm living it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you my lived experience.
And I also love it because like I think I feel like I talked about this in the last episode, which is funny because I will if you follow this, and you probably won't, and that's fine. I repeat myself a bunch. I know that my girlfriend tells me all the time. My ex-wife told me all the time. It's it's funny. Both my parents do it, so maybe I just have.
I'm
memory.
the same.
Yeah.
My mom tells the same story every day I see her.
I love that, but like, everything's oversaturated now. There's too many fucking people, and I'm not saying that as like a political statement. I'm just
no,
there
it's
are too
literally
many
just
people.
True.
But specifically comedy, you'll and again, this is the royal we or you, like you'll get accused of like, oh, you stole that joke from someone, or oh, you stole that thought.
And it can't be that if it's something you live.
Exactly.
We
no
have
one
the
can have
same brain.
No one can tell the joke about how my Boy Scout troop got busted by the cops.
Yes, exactly.
Like no one can tell the story about my friends and I being so insanely like Christ pilled that we did prayer walks around campus because we thought it was cool.
Yes.
Like, or I mean that may be but like the specifics that happened.
That same thing with like no one has the story that they went on a first date with their carpenter coworker, which was a skateboarding first date, and then broke their ankle at a mall.
Yeah.
Like those are things that. Yeah. So like it's exactly that. And I think that's what I love about the show that we do, Insult to Injury, is like we challenge these comedians that aren't used to telling stories to come and tell a story. And and here's the thing too, when it comes to comedy, something that I say all the time, and anytime somebody asks me, like a new comedian or something like that, or just somebody that's curious about my like writing style, they'll ask me like, how do you write, or like what's your process? And my first and initial answer is always, I start with the heart and I finish with the head.
Oh yeah, that's
so I come to the stage with my emotions and my experience and how I felt and all that stuff, and then I'll do stream of consciousness, and I'll just focus on my brain. I'll just and I'll do the opposite of what I just said. No, I'll just focus on my heart, and I'll just speak from the heart, and then I pause for 5 minutes, and then I literally switch it to my brain, and then I start the timer again.
I love that.
And then I reread it or I rewrite, and then I'm just contextualizing everything with the brain. But that is my acting brain.
But okay, the whole point of the podcast.
Yes, please.
No gods, no chains. I made this podcast because I am in a moment in my life where I'm feeling very free. I feel like I'm to use a Dune reference, I'm on my golden path.
Great.
Erin, Aaron. Has there ever been a point in your life where you have felt truly free? And if so, when was that?
Okay. Great question. I think that I have not. And that maybe that's like that's crazy thing to say. You know, like we always want to say that we are free. And I think that what it is that every day I'm getting freer.
Okay, that's what
I'm getting more and more free.
Next question. You think you're working towards that?
Yeah, totally. So when I was just to like blanket statement. I was the quote golden child, but I was also the youngest in a family of 3 kids.
Usually the opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think that is, unfortunately, since my parents deemed me the golden child from a very young age, the other siblings, it created a very tumultuous childhood because the other siblings didn't like that was the case, and I didn't know. I was a kid. I didn't know that that was even happening, but they knew what it was like to be without me. And now that I was there, they knew what it was like to have me. And
how far apart are you from your siblings?
So my oldest sister is 14 years older than me.
Okay. Yeah.
And but then my other sibling is only 2 years older than me.
Okay.
And so it's this big divide.
Yeah.
And so since I was the golden child and the youngest, and then the other 2 siblings kind of like had their own really tumultuous situation with my family and my parents, that I became the mediator for the family. And I had like as young as like 6 or 7. It's crazy.
In a little suit.
No, literally, I would like show up to the table and I'd be like, well, have we thought about this?
Yeah.
But from a very young age, I like was this mediator, and I still to this day will notice when it's happening. Like I'll notice that I'll be like, okay, well, hold on, let's all sit,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like 2 years ago that I finally kind of put my foot down with my family and was like, hey, you can't treat me like I am just along for the ride to fix you.
Yeah,
anymore.
That's great.
I am my own person, and at the ripe age of redacted, I'm finally finding my own autonomy outside of my family unit, and so. But within this like crazy family unit that was happening, I too got into an extremely abusive relationship, and it was also my first relationship.
That's brutal.
So he was
dude.
my first everything. Like Spencer, when I say my first everything, I mean
Yeah.
everything. So going from being this like mediator and the person that everybody came to for their problems and blah, 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 and my problems didn't matter because I had to be there for everybody else, to then going into a relationship where that was happening, where
Jeez.
it didn't matter if I was cheated on or
Yeah.
if he was being terrible to me, because at the end of the day, I had to make him comfortable. I had to make sure that he was happy.
Yeah.
So then then I got out of that relationship and like 2 months later shattered my ankle. So then I'm
on a date.
on a date.
Yeah.
On my first date after getting out of this abusive relationship.
Good
So it's like
Lord.
all of these things and then COVID happened. So it's like there has just been for the past
to back to
decade
back. Yeah.
to back to back blows. And I feel like finding stand up and finding like, because I've been a performer my entire life.
Yeah.
And so when I broke my ankle, that was like, Spencer, I was like, great,
It forced
life
you to
over.
rest.
It forced me to rest, which was hard.
Yeah.
And then it also forced me to be on the other side of the camera, like camera or table. Like I
Yeah.
started directing theater instead of performing in it, which was great for me. And I found a new space and all that stuff, but it did really just my path. It was like somebody pulled the lever on the train track, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden I was like, no, my oasis is that way, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was just headed down this crazy trove that I didn't realize would be a treasure trove.
And what? No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was the and was a transition to
Right.
nothing. So please.
What? So you and I have talked about this, but they haven't.
They don't.
Yeah. All 12 of our listeners.
Yes.
No, there's more than that.
12,000.
One day. What got you to? I mean, obviously, being in theater, being a performer, you're kind of already comedy adjacent. I
Yeah.
feel like you were already pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
What pushed you to actually like make the collective effort to do stand up?
Okay, so a date.
Okay.
This isn't
One where you didn't break a bone.
One there where I
Yeah.
didn't break a bone. Okay, so funny. So looking back after I started stand-up comedy, I realized how much stand-up comedy was a passion of mine
Yeah.
from a viewer standpoint.
For sure.
Like I was obsessed with Dimitri Martin in junior high.
Oh, fun.
Obsessed
Okay.
with him. There was
Yeah.
a video on YouTube called Jokes with a Guitar.
Yeah.
But it was a clip art music video. Like someone had taken Jokes with a Guitar by Dimitri Martin and like made a clip art
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
visual of his jokes. And I memorized it. Like I knew every single joke. I knew the whole thing. And then I had an iPod Nano or like with the second the iPod could play videos,
Oh, yeah,
whichever
okay.
one that one was. And the only video I had on it was a Comedy Central teaser. Like it was like Brian Regan, Maria
jeez.
Bamford, Fluffy. It was all of these. It was Daniel Tosh. He told a joke about cargo pants and just filling them with change and then
Change?
throwing them at.
Oh my
Like I
God,
remember
yeah.
because we used to take these trips to
That's so
Fresno,
funny.
which is like 3 hours up north,
Yeah.
to go to a lake like every other weekend over the summer when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. I would watch that on repeat for 3 hours straight. And I did, but here's the thing. These are things I forgot. Like
Yeah.
comedy was absolutely like a cornerstone for me, but I had told myself time and time and again, it was not a thing that I would ever do.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the date. I am on this date with this guy. It was my first date, honestly, like since breaking my ankle, I think,
Okay.
which is like almost 6 or 7 years.
Whoa.
And I was petrified. I was so scared. And
Wait, there were 6 or 7 years between you breaking your ankle and your next date?
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no shade.
No,
like,
but
that's a long time. Yeah.
I first of all, like I don't date ever. I just
Yeah.
don't. I am much more of like my love will find me when I'm on the right path.
That's
kind of
strong. Hey,
person.
good for
I
you.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll download the apps and then a month in be like, this is the worst place on the planet, and then
Fair,
I'll
yeah.
leave. Right. And so this was a guy I met on a dating app called Field.
Oh, I thought
and
the guy was in Field.
No. Oh my gosh.
I know Field. Yeah.
No,
yeah, okay.
I'll name drop him. His name was Garrett. I have nothing but love for this man,
Great.
and it was a fantastic first date. And we're talking, and he brought up stand up comedy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love stand up comedy. You know,
Yeah.
in another life, I'm a comedian. And he goes, okay, why not this one? And I like it was like he like slapped me across the face. I like looked at him, and I was like, oh. Okay, and I thought about it, and the answer I came up with in the moment was, That's a male dominated industry that I just don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I
Extremely
just don't.
valid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I felt that way. Right. And then he said that. He was like, okay. And he nodded. And then he sat there and he thought for a second. And it's really nice to be on a date with someone where it really looks like they are digesting what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
he's making a meal out of this, you
Yeah.
know? So he's sitting there, he's digesting. And then he looks at me and he goes, okay. So we've been talking for about an hour now. And you brought up that you were an axe throwing coach. You were a carpenter. You were a director.
Yeah.
You were even an actor. And he's going through all of these things that I had just said that I had done my entire life. And he goes, all right, so those are all male dominated industries. And
Hey,
then he asks,
I like this Garrett guy.
no, Garrett's
Yeah.
great. You would actually get,
Yeah.
you'd get along with Garrett
Yeah.
too well. I'd be scared to put you guys in a room. But he looks at me and he like puts his hand on my
Yeah.
arm and he goes, what makes comedy different than the ones that you named?
Asking the right questions.
And I look at this man and I ask him to marry me. And then I say, no, I looked at him and I think dread crossed my face because it was the first time that I actually realized what I was doing to myself.
yeah.
Because I looked at him and I said, because I actually want this one.
And it's hard when you like try and like
And then
don't
bad
get it,
things
yeah.
happen, right? Is that like
Yeah.
when I was a carpenter and I found out, this is a deep hole, but I'm going to say it. When I was a carpenter and I found out after I left carpentry or like kind of during I was leaving the time that I was leaving it,
Yeah.
that my boss was grooming me like that. But
Oh,
I
right,
didn't,
yeah.
I'd been working with him for 4 years. I
Yeah.
had no idea that the whole time he was grooming me, excuse me, that ruined carpentry for me. Like I was
Yeah.
like, oh my, and also it wasn't the right thing for me, but I was like, I can't build ever again. This is heartbreaking. I can't believe that someone would do this to me, all that stuff. So my greatest fear was to like start something that I loved because I loved being a carpenter.
Okay.
So to start something that I loved and then have it ruined by a man after
Yeah.
all these times before. So it's just so interesting to watch this guy who had never met me before be my champion. Like he
that's cool.
we didn't know each other
Yeah.
really, but he looked at me and was like, I don't think that's a good enough excuse, basically.
I like that. You still talk to this guy?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
We were actually messaging right before we started this.
I love that. Did the date go anywhere?
No, we are okay. So we had a couple of dates. We got along really great,
Yeah.
but we're both in just different places in our lives, and it
Yeah.
just wasn't right. But again, everything happens for a reason. That was absolutely meant to happen because right
great.
after that
Yeah.
date, 3 months later, I had my first stand-up class, and
you took a
then
class first?
I took a class first.
Where?
UCB, right down the street from
Okay,
here.
great. That's
Yeah.
fun, and I'm gonna say this, and I hope it doesn't.
Please.
And I don't mean this as a slight towards you, but if anyone
Say
else,
any slight ever.
love it. You're funny.
Thank you.
Normally, people, in my experience, and I think a lot of comedians would agree with this, people who take classes don't end up being funny because it's
Right.
like, agree or disagree, comedy classes kind of teach you like the science of like writing a joke, but it's like being funny is, again, like it's kind of a personal thing. It's your, to use more of like a current term, it's like your aura. It's how you carry yourself. I mean, like, I think about this all the time, and I was like, if someone got up and did Robin Williams bits without Robin Williams energy, it would bomb.
They would bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because I would not advise someone to take a class
Neither would I. Yeah.
unless coming from someone who took a class, unless you do it the way that I did it, which was I'm not taking this class for permission to be funny or
Okay.
for the secret to be funny. I'm taking this class to like let me come to the terms with the idea that I am actually going to do this.
That's good. Okay. I like
Like
that.
it truly was just a stepping stone because the idea of showing up to an open mic and not understanding any part of this world
Yeah.
scared me so bad. So I liked it because I kind of got to talk to my teacher about the business of this, of like, okay, so I just show up to an open mic. Okay, so it's just,
Yeah.
I just go up on stage and I do what? Okay, but what if I go to an open mic and nobody laughs? And like, he got to be like, that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
like,
he's
"That's
like,
actually gonna happen
people-
a
yeah. And he was
lot."
like, that's actually going to happen most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, I actually, hot take. I've told you this, but I don't really go to a lot of open mics.
Yeah. That's fine.
They don't help me in the way that I know that they help other people. I have
Yeah.
friends that like they champion open mics. They love open mics. They go to open mics all the time. Oh, you're so cute, baby. Sorry, the dog got here. But yeah, so anyway, that was why I took the classes, because I wanted an opportunity to like ease my way into this world and like say to myself, okay, this is real, and that I'm doing it, and I, you know, for me it was the right thing. But every single time someone asks me about the class that I took, or two, if they should take a class, I always say that whole thing where I'm like, I am going to be so honest. I don't know if I personally learned much.
Yeah.
I think that I needed it for what it was, and I learned what I needed to learn, but I don't think it, here's what it is. It didn't do anything for my comedy.
Yeah.
It did something for my confidence.
Yeah.
But
and
it didn't do
how
anything
to like
for my
approach
comedy.
bookings or approach open mics
Totally.
or just like or maybe like some people maybe have the ideas but don't understand how to get the ideas on paper or like out onto like an actual performance. But yeah, I've just found that like most, and I say most because it's not everyone, but like most people I have seen in shows or open mics, to be honest, if they've been like, oh yeah, I took a class, I'm always like, yeah, that checks out.
I think too, and I feel this way about acting too, by the way, which is
yeah.
And I felt this way about my directing class in college, is that if you're ever being taught by a teacher, there is no way for the teacher not to put bias into the way that they are teaching you.
For sure. Yeah.
Meaning there is no way for them to avoid telling you how they think you should do your thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's you.
Yeah.
And so it's somebody else. Like, it's kind of like an oil and water thing, right? Where it's like, even if it's 99% me and I'm the water, there's still 1% oil in there that's just kind of floating around that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I always know when I am not being myself in my work.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because I can go back and think about all of the shows, because my bombs live with me.
Oh, forever, dude.
Yeah.
I can name every single bomb.
They're not going away.
No.
And it's like every single one, it always starts with a certain way where I second guess my set.
It's always second guessing.
I'm always like, oh, do I want to change this? Oh, I can hear how the audience is reacting to this comic. Maybe I should do this. And it's always like
that. That always
whereas
happens
when
to
I'm
me.
just like, fuck it, I'm going to do the set that I want to do because I enjoy doing this.
Yes.
I have the fucking best set of my life.
Yeah.
And that show that I did at the Crow, no shade to the Crow at all, I was super in my head and I was like, it's industry. They're probably going to want cleanish. I'll do this. And then like the first person that went up was like, because it was like a kind of a variety show. It was like half improv, half stand up. And the first person that went up, like the host of the show, was like doing like a character, like they were wearing like a costume, and it was like, and the crowd loved it. And I was like, oh fuck, do I need to like have like a more whimsical of a set? Like, and I just literally in every comic, I just started overthinking and overthinking.
Word for word,
more.
this is what happened the last time I bombed.
Yeah.
Word for word. I was like 6th in the lineup of 8 or 9 or something like that, and I probably like 4th in the lineup of 6, you know what I mean? But whatever. I was like 3/4 of the way into the show, and there was no green room, so I couldn't disconnect myself from the thing at any time. So I was just sitting in the bar listening to all these comedians and comparing myself to every single one.
Yeah.
And that is comparison is the death of invention. And
Yeah.
He did fart.
Did he?
I smell it.
Oh, brutal.
No, I love it.
What time is it? No, okay. It's like sometimes I do a little passive aggressive fart where he's like, "Hey man,
He's like, hey, I know what
guess
time
what?
it is.
It's time for me to go shit in some grass."
My cat will just eat plastic.
Oh, fun.
Oh yeah, she loves to ruin my life by doing that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's the best and the worst.
Yeah, it's very it's interesting.
Yeah.
How it's like I can go back and be like, "Oh yeah, I got in my own way." It's never ever has a bomb ever been the crowd's fault.
No, and that's, I think we were talking about this earlier, that I don't subscribe to it being the audience's fault ever. I think that it is our job to make a bunch of people in a room into an audience.
Yeah.
And I won't sit here and say that it's directly out like this third comedian's fault that the audience isn't on our side, because sometimes it's like the host goes up and again, not to blame, but sometimes this just happens. The host goes up and loses them. Yeah. Right out the gate.
Big time.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, so now we're all climbing an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Because I've been in an audience where, and like I'll catch myself doing it, where a host will come out and be like, wow, you guys are weird. And then immediately I'm like, I do not want to laugh anymore.
Yeah. But it's just like from an audience perspective, it's like if you in most cases paid money to be there. Even if you didn't pay money, even if you're there for free, you still made the conscious decision to go there.
Absolutely. Time is money. Time is everything.
Whether you're supporting a friend or you're like, oh, there's one comic on that I really like. That's what's like, and I, actually whatever. Because if you are
actually whatever,
if you're a friend of a comedian and they invite you to their show, do not ask when do you go on, because it's not like bands. When it's like, oh, we'll come for your set. It's like, no, dude, you got to be there.
You're committing.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way about this? If a friend of yours says that they're going to go to a show and then texts you like 5 minutes before the show starts and says, sorry, I can't make it, or even like 30 minutes before the show, would you rather them not tell you? Or because I'm the kind of person where I get that text message and I'm like, okay, just keep that to yourself until after the show.
I don't care anymore. But also like a year and a half in, for sure, that would have like really, really bummed me out. The same thing. I would have preferred to be like, just don't tell me. Yeah.
I think it's more, and it doesn't like make me upset in the sense that I'm like, oh, I'm going up and my friend's not here. It's more like I'm in the zone right now and I don't want to have to like, shift my focus into making you feel better about missing the show, or like, you know what I mean?
Or I've had friends sometimes, and I won't name names. I'm sure they'll figure out who they are. and I don't mean this in a bad way, because again, I'm just glad that you're there. But like, I've had friends who have like come to like headlining shows I've done, and they've like texted me and been like, "Wow, the waiter's really slow," and I'm like,
yes,
and I'm like, hey, that's not.
Hey, what?
I don't control that.
Like please, for a second.
But then it also, because I'm such a people pleaser, it makes me be like, well, shit, like,
should I say something? What do I do?
Should I do something? Should I reach out? And then I'm like, no, I need to focus on doing my fucking set.
Doing your job.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, it's been a great time. This podcast is called No Gods, No Chains, but this section is called No Gods, No Chains, Some Questions. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Some lightning round.
I'm loving all of
this. I
mean,
you can also explain them in detail however you want to.
Right.
But
I do just talk all the time.
I do too. It's fine.
Thank God.
These are based on just how I've known you for a little bit, based on current trends, maybe for you personally. So I think they'll be fun. First question: what's the best deal you've ever had on Marketplace?
Oh my gosh. So just earlier today, this is so funny. While I was driving here, so I'm selling this Watto figurine, whatever. It's a life size.
How do you have that?
My dad got it out of a dumpster.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In like junior high. I remember when he brought that back to our garage.
It's
and now I'm
cool.
selling it.
Yeah.
And everybody's mad at me because I'm a woman selling it for $600. And they're trying oh my God, I'm going to show you all the messages.
I can't wait.
They're trying so hard to intimidate me into a lower price, and it's not working. And then they get pissed.
Because who hates women more than Star Wars fans?
Exactly. Especially one selling Watto of all characters. But so I'm trying to sell this, and I got a message earlier, and it said trade for 50 Labubu's. And I responded, LOL, because I just thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And then he said, what does that mean? And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, you're being serious.
Yeah.
You think that I'm about to trade. Also,
in fairness,
in my
I have
head,
no idea what Labubu's cost.
Right. But in my head, I was like, that is sexist. Like you're coming to a message and saying, oh, she'll take 50 Labubus for this. So anyway, I responded and I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were being serious. No, the price is firm.
Yeah.
Then he responded, wait, I have to read it because it's so specific. Then he responded,
we can cut all this out. It's fine.
He said, okay. So he goes, trade for 20 Labubus. I said, LOL. He said, what does that mean? I say, I did not think you were serious. Ha ha ha. No, thank you. The price is firm. And then he said, trade for a booby trap from World War II.
That's kind of cool.
Trade for a boo-boo trap.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny. I haven't seen the words booby trap in forever.
Either, yeah.
But I just love that this is so indicative of men that like I literally said no.
Yeah.
And he said, sorry, I didn't hear that. Let me give you one more option.
Do you want a weapon?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about a weapon?
Yeah.
And then I love too that again, just like we were talking about with the acting thing, it's a tactic, right? Is that he's like, okay, so the Lububus weren't up her alley. I know what'll work. I'm gonna go the complete opposite way.
Memorabilia.
World War II memorabilia. Yeah. And I just replied to my own no thank you. So it's like literally listed in the thing. And I said, I will redirect you to my initial no.
That's hilarious.
But that's a real message. So I think that is some of my favorite conversations I've had so far. I haven't done a lot of like legitimate sales because I'm a woman and they all want to just drag me over the coals.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. But
interesting. Okay. Very fun. Next one. What's this? Initially, I wrote this with stand up in mind, but it could be anything because you've done a lot of things. Favorite performance you've ever done?
Oh my gosh.
I know that's a tough one. But
That's really tough. Okay, one of my favorites, and that is like near and dear to my heart, is I played Kathy Selden in Singing in the Rain.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is
Okay.
one of my favorite musicals, and I loved tap dance.
Yeah.
And so it was like such a special performance to be able to like tap. And I was also an understudy, and it was my first like lead role, and it felt so cool to pop into the role 2 times. So I'll say that for like general performance, because it was very special to me. But if I'm going to talk about stand up, my all-time favorite performance was doing my 30-minute special, but specifically that second take that did not
the one that
get
came out
recorded,
in
the
slow-mo.
one that came out in slow-mo. But that one, what I loved about that one is the audience wasn't as I'll say this: they weren't not generous is the wrong term for it, but I'm just going to use it as the right word, but wrong feeling.
Yeah.
They weren't as generous with their laughter, meaning they didn't like guffaw like our first audience, but that audience was listening.
That's
like
good.
they really heard the work that I put in to like make this story the way that it did.
Yeah.
And I got multiple applause breaks
in
a way that I just like didn't expect and was so grateful for. And it's because they were like actually listening for the artistry in my storytelling and not just like, I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
So that was just a
that's
really
fun.
cool experience to kind of like be there. And also I will say this, to have 2 very different audiences, but doing the same 30-minute, because the first one was very generous in laughter, guffawed at every single setup punchline.
So like, this is a
and they were having
recording. We
so
have to-
much fun. And well, that was the thing, is like they were having so much fun, and like it was so many of my friends, and they just loved the story. So they laughed all the time. And then the second one was more of my comedian friends. So they were like listening and enjoying.
That's good. Okay.
So it was a very fun, like dual situation.
Okay. That's cool. I love that. Next question. Do you have any Halloween costume plans?
I don't. I'm so serious. I'm terrible at Halloween. It always
Really?
sneaks up on me.
Man, I thought you would have been
this
like,
is every person I talk to about Halloween says this to me. They're like, no, you would absolutely be the person that has.
Yeah.
I think it also, not to get so deep, this has just been such a lovely conversation. I feel safe enough to get deep. I think that I've had so much body dysmorphia in my life that the idea of like picking a costume and quote fitting into a costume and succeeding in whatever I'm portraying,
Feeling comfortable.
It just feels like a lot of work. And I think I'm trying to turn that around. And so I'm going to try. What I will say is, if I were to do anything for this upcoming Halloween, I would love to do just a Severance outfit.
That'd be great.
Just an
Why not?
like I'm just one of the Severance
your own little key
characters.
card.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
my own key card.
That's cool. I like that.
And I just feel like it's simple. It'll make me feel comfortable, and I would just love
What
to.
if you did like a split down the middle and you were like,
I was my innie and my outie.
Because that could be fun.
I like that idea. Maybe
Okay,
I'll do
very
that.
cool. Next question, and I wrote this down knowing that you broke your ankle on one, so I want you to. But you also, I'm on your close friends list, and you talk a lot about how men just talk to you very poorly.
Yeah.
What's the worst date you've ever been on?
Okay.
Or
so
it could also be like the worst just
male
Yeah, male
experience.
experience.
So the worst date I ever went on is actually another one of my favorite performances.
Great.
I told the story on stage, and I need to find a way to like really make it work so I can do it a lot. But I went on a date during COVID. Boo. But we had met through a mutual friend, because I was looking over her shoulder during Halloween, and she was tapping through Halloween. Weird. She was tapping through her Instagram stories, and a guy came up on her screen, and I said out loud, "That guy's kind of cute."
Oh.
And she was like, "You know what? I actually feel like the two of you would get along."
Yeah.
And so she goes, "Why don't you follow him?" She shows me his Instagram. I follow him. The minute I follow him, he follows me back, messages me on Instagram, and says, "Hey, I don't know who you are, but we have mutual friends, and you're really cute. I'd love to take you out on a date sometime."
Okay, damn.
That is, I gotta say, that's my kind of man.
Quick.
I was like, this.
You were talking about bold earlier.
This is
Yeah.
what I'm saying, right? That's why I was like, okay, we're in, because I'm so serious. That's all it takes for me. Is like,
Right, yeah.
just be bold, be. You can be scared of being rejected, but don't show it. You know what I mean?
Listen up.
Men, listen
Yeah.
up. Get out of my reacts. So I immediately said yes. We decided on a FaceTime date.
Yeah.
It was
'cause
my
COVID,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, it was my idea that this is also, by the way, one of my most viewed TikToks. So some of you might know the story. But it was my idea that we exchanged favorite beverages, like drinks, like mixed
okay.
drinks,
Fun. Okay,
cocktails.
yeah.
And then I would make his favorite cocktail and he would make mine.
Tight.
And then that way we would like be drinking each other's favorite drink and
Yeah.
it would like be fun for the conversation. So he chose an old fashioned, should have been my first red flag.
Yeah.
And I chose a Mai Tai.
Okay.
And so I'm drinking a terrible old fashioned. He's drinking, I'm sure, a good Mai Tai. And it was a really good date. We like
Yeah.
got along great. We kept saying that we were like nervous about how good it was. You know, we were like, oh no, this is scary. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna, whatever. We decided to have a date in person a couple of days later. I don't know how this, actually, I know exactly how this happened. It was it was actually as votes were going in for the Trump versus Biden election.
Oh God. Okay.
And because it was right after
Yeah,
Halloween. And he was like, I'm scared. This is so crazy.
Oh,
he goes,
no.
I'm scared about the riots that might happen. Would you like to come to my apartment? So he's making me leave my house.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I lived in Santa Clarita. So he was
Okay.
kind of saying like, maybe there won't be riots near you. So
Yeah.
like come to me so that I can get through mine. But it's like, so you're going to send a woman out into the
Yeah.
streets of LA.
He should have come to you.
Exactly. But I said yes. And then he asked me what time I would like to come over. And I threw out 5:30 and he
Yeah.
said, great. So I show up at 5:30. I text him that I'm there and he says that he's not ready. And so I sit in my
Yeah.
car
What?
for 30 minutes. And Spencer,
What?
this just shows you how much I like was treated so poorly in my
Yeah.
life that I stayed for 30 minutes. Like
Oh,
I
I
literally
would've-
just sat there.
Jeez.
So I waited for 30 minutes. Oh, did it happen again?
Oh, the
Battery,
the
no.
battery died.
We can just keep doing audio.
Wait, hold on. We're still running audio. I'll do a quick switch.
Okay, great.
We're almost done.
We're almost done.
Can you get down? Get down. Hey, come on.
Good job.
Okay.
Okay, so
You were waiting for 30 minutes.
I wait for 30
Yeah.
minutes. He comes down to greet me, and he's in a matching tracksuit. So he wasn't like getting ready
Yeah.
for the 30 minutes. He's in a matching tracksuit, and he has a little white dog on a leash that's tied around his waist. And again, that should have been like, I
Yeah.
should have been like, but no, I go up to his apartment, and the whole time up to his apartment, he's not really like leading me. I mean, he's not really
Yeah.
like showing me the way. He's just walking, and I'm just in his wake. I just have to make sure
Yeah.
my mom. Okay, somebody's
fine.
home. We're
Yeah.
good. It's a marketplace thing. We're
For
selling.
Watto?
No, this is
Okay.
for a Budweiser like car. It's whatever. It's like a
Does your
metal.
dad have a lot of collectibles?
He is crazy.
Okay.
You should see our
Talk about
garage.
that on
It's-
episode
yeah,
2.
it's insane. So I just kind of like follow him to his apartment. We get into his apartment and he offers me a water and he goes
Okay.
to walk away to get me a water. And at that exact moment, his roommate comes out of nowhere, introduces himself to me and offers me a beer.
Okay.
And so I like look at both of them and the
Did
guy.
you know he had a roommate?
No.
Oh, great. Okay.
The guy that I was on a date with, his name is Mike. Let's say his name is Mike.
Yeah.
It's not his name, but it is now. And the guy that his roommate, let's call him Jack.
Yeah.
And so Mike looks at Jack and goes, I just offered her a water. And I had to speak up for myself finally. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'd like a beer.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Mike goes and gets me a beer. Jack like hangs out, just gets to know me for a second and then leaves. Okay. So Mike comes out, hands me the beer. He goes over to the corner. He goes, make yourself at home. I wasn't able to fit in a workout today. So I'm just going to do a quick circuit.
Dude.
This is real. So he plugs his phone in and he goes, and I'm sitting there and I've gone silent because I
Yeah.
could not actually fathom that. I was like, and so okay. So he then goes and plugs his phone in and he plays Girl Put Your Records On, but not the Corinne Bailey Rae version,
Yeah.
the like white man remix. And then he looks me dead in the eyes. Like I was right here on
Yeah.
the couch. He's plugging in here. And then he looks at me and he goes, I bet you like this song. And then he starts doing a circuit. But the circuit consists of push-ups,
Okay.
assisted pull-ups with a chair, and a wall sit. Have you even thought about doing a wall sit since high school?
Yes, but I don't enjoy them.
And why would you
Yeah.
do them in front of someone,
That's
right?
like
Like,
not- that's
keep
not
that
a-
to yourself.
Yeah, that's not a.
That's a private activity.
It's basically you're miming shitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're also making the sounds you would be making
like,
if you're like, "Mm."
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. So he starts doing this. And also, like, no shade to not being able to do a pull up.
Yeah.
Fully. Just maybe if you're doing it in front of a girl you're on a date with, like, maybe be able to do a full
Yeah.
one. I just, you know. So anyway, so he does his circuit and I'm freaking out and I'm texting my friend that told me that he was cute and that I might get along with him. And I'm like, he's working out in front of me. he's working, and I take a picture of him doing a push-up and I send it to my friend because I literally did not believe it was real.
That's insane.
So she responds and she's like, Erin, you have to say something.
Yeah.
And so I say out loud, so is this your move? Like I was like, is this what you do with the ladies? And he in between switching from push-ups to pull-ups, assisted pull-ups, he goes, no. I used to be fat. And so I can't miss a workout.
Okay.
And I just want to make something really clear. I wasn't asking him to miss a workout.
Yeah.
I was asking him to plan a workout better. Like just do it better. Right. So as I say that, and like as he responds, Jack comes back in the room to save the day, I think. Okay. And he sits down next to me and just starts.
He's like, I can tell my roommate's really fucking this up.
No, literally. So he sits down and he goes, so Erin, tell me about yourself. So
Jack
now I'm
great.
on a date with Jack, right? So I'm telling Jack about myself. We're having a good conversation. Like I'm digging Jack. We're having a good time. And then Mike finishes his workout, finishes his wall sit. He's sweating now. And then he goes, all right, we're going to go on a walk. Takes me out of my conversation with Jack. And I was like, oh, I didn't bring shoes for a walk. Like my shoes are new. I hadn't even broken them in. And he goes, it'll be a short one. I just need to walk my dog. And I should have again been like, no,
I'm going to leave.
I'm leaving, right? But no, I go on this walk.
Good Lord.
I go on this walk. While we're on the walk, his dog poops and he has forgotten doggy bags. So he goes dumpster diving for a bag and picks up his dog's poop with a bag that he found in the dumpster.
Oh, this guy sucks.
So then we get back to his apartment. It keeps going. We get back to his apartment and he goes, I'm going to make us a Mai Tai. Just because of what we did on the FaceTime. And I was like, okay, fine.
Hey,
he goes to make us
something.
the Mai Tai and he goes, oh, I'm out of lime juice. You know what? We're going to go to Whole Foods. And he starts making a list of everything in the apartment that they need. He's like, we need paper towels. We need all this stuff. And this is the first time that I put my foot down.
Yeah.
And by the way, we get back from the walk and Jack's not in the room. The second I start speaking up for myself, Jack comes into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so I say, oh, I forgot. When we get back from the walk, he takes me into his bedroom. And he literally starts snapping. And he goes, do you hear how dead the sound is in here? I did a really good job of soundproofing this room.
Oh, that's so weird. What the fuck?
And it was for voice acting, but like I'm a single female. Like you're going to kill me later, okay? So we're in the kitchen. Jack walks in right as I start putting my foot down. So I say to him, hey, I don't like that. I'm not going to Whole Foods with you. And he goes, oh, we just need to, I don't know, grocery dates are kind of fun. And I was like, if they're planned, but like not to just do this out of nowhere. And then he looks at Jack and he says, Jack, the lady doth protest.
Oh my God. This man might be autistic, actually.
So then I do get that a lot. And that's fine. I am a little bit too, but like, come on, right?
Yeah.
So then he starts making me dinner, but the dinner that he makes is leftover meal prep. And it consists of a salmon patty, like a puck of salmon, and an avocado on
The fact that
top.
you're still here is crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
So he makes me the Mai Tai. I feel bad not drinking the Mai Tai. So now I've had the beer and a little bit of the Mai Tai, and I'm almost drunk.
Okay.
Not fully there, but enough where I'm like, I need to stop drinking, right?
So I can drive home. Yeah.
So I say to him, hey, I have to leave in 30 minutes. Because this was my way of like leaving, was setting an expectation. Because I have to remind you, I was in a very abusive relationship.
Correct. Yeah.
So like the idea of doing something to like upset a man legitimately scares me.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had to like prep him for my leaving. Because if I just like got up and left, I was scared that something bad was gonna happen. So I was like, I'm gonna leave in 30 minutes. And he goes, oh. And he kind of like gets disappointed and he like turns away from me and he's like doing something with the fucking salmon patty. And then he starts like looking at me. Like he looks at me like this. Like he just has this disappointed look on his face. And he does it like 3 times in a row. And I finally go, what? Yeah. What is it? And he goes, yeah, I just, the spark we had on the FaceTime just isn't here anymore. And I out loud went, I don't think that's my fault.
Yeah.
So then he makes everything, he puts it down, we start eating. I have to eat this salmon patty because I am, 1, hungry, and 2, I know that I'm getting a little drunk and I need to leave ASAP. So I eat this salmon patty and he looks at me and he keeps looking at me and then he starts going, all right, no, I messed this up. You know, I feel bad. It's because I used to be fat. Like he keeps blaming it on the fact that he used to be fat. And he goes, okay, so next time we're going to do this differently. Next time we're going to do this. Next time we're going to do that. And I look at him and I go, how about we get through this time? How about before we make any decisions about what we're going to do next time, let's get through this time. And so then I go, all right, I have to go. And he goes, can we do one thing before you leave? And at this point, I'm just in it for the bit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what he's going to say, right? So I go, yeah, okay. And he goes, can you turn your chair to face me?
This dude's weird.
So we turn.
Yeah.
I don't turn my chair, but I turn my body, so my arm is still like protecting me. So I turn to face him, and he goes, "Are you aware of the acting exercise Meisner's repetition?"
What the fuck?
Now, for those of you that don't know,
Yeah.
Meisner's repetition is an acting exercise where you take one phrase and you repeat it back and forth to each other. It's a subtext exercise. So you're not actually listening to the text that you're saying, you're responding to what you're hearing.
Gotcha.
So if the question was, did you take my keys, which I used earlier, if I just looked at you and I went, did you take my keys?
Yeah. Okay.
You're not listening to the fact that I said, did you take my keys? You're looking at it as like, oh, that was kind of like flirty and presumptuous, and like, how would I respond to that?
Yeah.
He wanted me to do that acting exercise.
What was the phrase?
I wish I had asked him.
Yeah.
Because that
Oh,
was
said
the
that,
point
yeah.
that I like fully, I got like pissed. That was
would
the
be
first
too,
time that I
yeah.
was like, I started to like shake. And I was like, no, I'm not doing an acting exercise with you. I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm out of here. And so he like walked me in my car and he hugged me out my car and he was like, please give me another chance. And I was like, okay, bye. And I got in my car. I drove off and I texted him later and I was like, this is the first time I've ever put my foot down with a man.
Yeah.
And this is serious.
Good for you.
Thank you. But I texted him and I was like, you only invited me over so that like you fit me into your schedule. You didn't make time for me.
Yeah.
Like you just wasted all like my evening and blah, 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 blah. And you can't waste my time like that. And he responded and was like, okay, what if we stop with romantic connection, but you and I get together just as friends? And I was like, no, we're just fully done. And that's the end of that date. But that was a real date I went on.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know anybody that has been able to top it.
No,
yet, so.
I might have one, but that's for another time. Okay.
That's right.
Last question.
Yes.
This one's a little lightning round because we might be running out of battery.
Oops, it's my fault.
Totally fine.
I talk so much.
If Jason Segel were in the room right now, what would you say to him?
If Jason Segel is in the room right now, I'd say, hey, man, why didn't you call? I've been waiting by the phone for years. For 4 years, I've been waiting by the phone. Oh, man.
I love that.
Finding out that he's seen it is actually so scary.
That makes me so happy.
It's crazy.
I've only had one interaction with him, and he was an absolutely lovely person.
He's the best.
Yeah, he did him and Paul Rudd for I Love You Man did a press tour, and they were in New York at a burger place, and my friend and I sat next to them because it was like a community table thing, and they were hammered.
Oh yeah, I'm almost positive he was on shrooms or something when I met him.
I love
like
that.
he was absolutely on something, but in the best way. Like he was having a good trip, not like
he's one of my favorite people. I wrote my senior film study thesis on how Judd Apatow revolutionized the buddy comedy. And
wow,
and
it's true.
Jason Segel plays a huge role in
He
that.
plays a huge. He is such a. Well, okay, here's what's really interesting too is that right after I posted that TikTok of my Jason Segel story, my friend Isabella got cast in Shrinking.
Whoa.
And so she was like on set adjacent him.
Yeah.
And my video was actively going viral.
Oh, that's fun.
And I was like, I'm literally 1 degree away from him and I'm panicking. I was like, what if he thinks that I'm the worst person ever? So when my friend Nicole texted me and said that she had showed him the video, and the first thing I asked her afterward was, did he look disgusted? I was like, does he hate me? And she was like, no, not at all. If anything,
Probably
like
laughed.
well, that's the thing is he said that he'd already seen it, but he stayed there and watched the whole thing on her phone. So he's just a good dude, and he recently got engaged too. So
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, the engagement looked beautiful. Like I think he's one of the best.
Is he with a famous person or is it a normal person?
A model, I think, just like a gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Every single time anytime someone will like comment or bring her up or be like, doesn't he know you're his soulmate? Every time I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
He's with.
He has one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
literally. I'm like, no. But it is very
guys could be
cute to be
good friends.
championed.
Yeah.
You know, like people are like excited about it. But
I would
yeah.
love to work with him someday.
Oh, yeah,
If my
that's-
acting classes go well.
Well, it's funny too. It's crazy because I've technically been featured on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Really?
It was a tweet of mine that got
shit,
featured in
that's
his
awesome.
like Wednesday tweets, hashtag Wednesdays or whatever. And so if I'm ever on the Tonight Show, I can't wait to be like, I've already actually been on your show
Oh,
before.
that's fun. Okay.
And then if I ever work with Jason Segel, I'll be able to be like,
Yeah.
I've already actually done, like,
Yeah.
we've already talked.
That's lovely.
So
Aaron, this was great. For
Spencer,
anyone,
thank you so much for letting me just gab.
gabbing's my favorite thing to
Love
do.
to yap.
for anyone who is still listening that you want to plug anything, where can they find you? How can they find you? Why can they find you?
You can find me on all social media apps at Erin, ERIN _Cholakian, CHOLAKIAN. Where is everywhere. Why is because I am chronically online.
And you're entertaining. You're a viral queen.
I love to entertain. It's what I'm here for.
Consistently going
I love
viral.
to
But
do.
your videos are fun. They're very engaging.
Thank
I
you.
love them.
I really appreciate that.
Everyone, you can follow us at No Gods, No Chains across social media platforms. We're on YouTube. We have a Patreon where we put unedited episodes. Where you'll get way more of Steve, way more of Erin, way more of me.
Steve's the best.
Other than that, listen wherever you get your podcasts. Catch us again. I think we're doing every other week. So catch us in 2 weeks.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. I love everyone inside this camera. Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye and good night.
Hooray.